Back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Please be joined by Isaac Frantti of Hartland Hockey. How's it going, bud?
It's going good. Thanks for having me on.
So kind of talk about how you guys have been doing the past few weeks, because it's been pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, I think we've been climbing pretty well. I mean, we had a 1-1 weekend. We ended up losing our first game in a shootout, but I thought we bounced back pretty well and got a big win against the Byron Center team that was undefeated. So I think that was pretty huge for our group.
Yeah. So going into obviously after the showcase, you guys really only have a few games left, and then it's the climb to the state title. What's that going to be like these next few games? Because a lot of them are going to be at home.
Yeah, we got a couple tough opponents at home. I think we got Powers, Trenton, and so it should be pretty fun to prepare for playoffs. And I think battling those teams will kind of help us get ready for that.
Yeah. So going into these, how are you guys? Because it feels like you guys have really been improving the last few weeks of the season. It's been really it's you guys have been doing really really well.
Yeah, for sure. We just need to learn how to play a full three periods. Like I said, against St. Ignatius, we played really good first two periods and kind of let off the gas in the third period, and that ended up biting us. So I think we just got to play a full game against these opponents the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously it is I mean, I believe you just came back after a few games. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling good now. I've been back for 3 games, so kind of just catching my wind and getting the legs back, and should be back to good to go by playoffs. So
Okay. Let me ask you this. How do you mentally prepare for a game?
um, kind of just relax, kind of zone out, and just kind of visualize and relax before the game. Not too much, but and kind of stay loose. I think that helps me out a lot.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing that you've seen success at this year? Name one thing that you've really gotten better
Um, one thing our group's gotten better at is kind of just climbing every game, getting better every game, and not kind of letting the downs get too low and then the highs get too high, and just keep gradually climbing. I think that's helping us out a lot.
at. Yeah. Really just going into these next few kind of preview what is the next game that you guys have coming up?
We have Powers at home on Wednesday.
Be a big one. So going into that, playing games at home down the stretch, it's going to be pretty good. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you guys host districts, regionals. I think this coming up.
Yeah, regionals are at Hartland this year, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Going into the next these next few, how do you feel like you guys have done so far, and then heading into a tough powers team. They're coming off a good few wins and coming into your place. How do you feel like you need to go in and play them?
Yeah, Powers is obviously a really good team. I've been playing against a few kids on Powers my whole life, pretty much. So I think we just got to prepare and take it like a playoff game. And like I said before, play a full three periods, and I think we'll be all right.
Um, okay. So right before a game, what's your pregame routine?
Um, Kind of just tape my stick. I usually tape my stick the same way. I use a double thick roll of tape and kind of tape it the same way. And something weird I do is I draw a little smiley face on the back of my tape job. I feel like I did that one game and I end up scoring 2 goals. So been doing it ever since.
All right. Um, let's see. Um, let's see. Best moment from this season so far.
Um, it's a tough one. Uh, there's probably a few. I think beating Brighton the first time was in the shootout was pretty awesome, and then just recently beating the undefeated Bayern Center team was pretty huge for our group.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, when you look at Byron Center, what they've accomplished, getting that big win, what did that do for you guys?
That was awesome. It just kind of showed that if we can play a full three periods, we can kind of beat the best teams in the state, and that kind of showed with playing against them. They were obviously undefeated, and we can just got to take that in the playoffs.
Yeah. Describe playoff hockey.
Playoff hockey's always a battle. It's always a battle. Just the goals that go in, it's always the greasy ones. You never see it. You usually don't see a pretty goal in the playoffs, so it's always a battle every shift, and the team that wants it more usually ends up on top.
Yeah. Um, and finally, knowing that this is your last go at it, I mean, have you kind of just said, I'm going all out because I don't know if I'll ever do this again.
Yeah, it's obviously my last go, so you just got to go all out, like you said, and kind of leave it all out there. Just got everything to prove.
Well, Isaac, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Awesome, thank you.